Live at 4. Let's look at the store. And we got a blog post late last night that's somewhat controversial. I don't think people like this very much. Present store clarification. The intention of the December meta event is for players to receive more rewards and flexibility than a normal meta event through the winter event store. I don't think this is well received because the pricing changes. We're going to get into that. With moderate engagement in the events. Also, we're not sure what moderate engagement means. Players will earn enough presents to purchase one top row reward for each week of the 4 weeks. Pricing for the top row of characters will update each week with the characters available. We want to provide additional information to help you plan your progression. And then Venora has made an infographic, which we're going to look at in a minute. But here is the pricing, and you can see how it moves up. And I know I mentioned initially that I was going to save them for Nemesis, and we're going to get into the breakdown. But before we do that, I want to read this post because I think this kind of shares my sentiment as well. Should have the choice to spend presents on whomever for entire event. We should be allowed to spend our present currency on whomever we want, but at all times, if I want to buy Icarus shards all day and with whatever amount of prints I get, then I should. We shouldn't be pigeonholed into 1 week of weather. Now, this is an excellent infographic from Venora and Rocket 1420. Shows the first week pricing, and then it shows how week 2 ends, and it says how many presents you should have if you make it so far through the milestones. Now, the problem with this is that we don't know how easy it is going to be through the milestones. Now, highly engaged players typically have been able to get through the month-long events and finish all of them. Sometimes people fall short because of coordinated assault and their alliance and so on. But if you're playing the game pretty sweaty, a lot of people are able to get through 100% of the milestones on the month-long events if they're free to play. So but not everybody. And I don't know what percentage of players are doing that. So this is kind of interesting. So Hulkbuster, 1,900,000 for Spider-Weaver. Agatha's 1 million. And it says presents at end of week is 1.763. I don't know how they came to this number. So that will let you know where you're at. So basically, you could buy one of these items by the end of week. By the end of the week, and then it goes on a little bit first. Dazzler, Spider-Man Noir, Brawn, and there's the pricing right there. Presents at end week is 2.86, and then if we get down to the bottom here, 4 million. As far as we know, 4 million is the total number of points that we can get inside of the month-long event if we get through it. I'm going to move out of the way right here. Nemesis is 1.75 million. Presents you only buy two. You can buy it twice. So it looks like. If you want to get 1 million or 100 Nemesis shards through this event, if we can make it to the bottom, which we don't know, then you will be able to do that. But it's also worth noting that Nemesis is going to be an event campaign character, and typically I would say event campaign characters are the best way for players to get the most player-friendly way of getting character shards. But they changed it a bit. With Nakia, they basically raised the floor and lowered the ceiling on the way they did that event. And we don't know if they're going to do something similar with that event and they adjust the drop rates on the orbs down, or if they're going to revert back to the older event campaigns. So we will have to see how that plays out. Also, good news. Chromiums are showing up everywhere. And so a lot of people are asking, how many orange chromiums am I going to need to get Archangel up to gear tier 15? And the number is 61. If you want to, then as far as teals, you can use this total of 40 to go all the way to the gear tier 17. You're going to need 18 to get through gear tier 16 as far as the teals. This right here is showing it in the raid store. This right here is one. This is one of the raid orbs. There's 2 different raid orbs. One of them has it, one of them doesn't. So you have to kind of look to find out which one it is. Then there's the teal orbs in the raid store as well. One of them has it, one of them doesn't. And then right here we have in the gold store right here. Here we have it in the Cosmic Crucible store. Here we have it inside of, there's a war store and the war orbs, both the 1 and the 2. Basically, if you want to know where they are, just go into Zombie Iron Man and click on his unique and hit find, and then you should get a tab. So basically anywhere you can get any other mini unique, they are in game as of right now. And I think a lot of people didn't fully upgrade Zombie Iron Man, so they probably have 18 of the teals You probably have about 30 something of the purples, and Archangel only requires 18 purples. So purple's not going to be a problem. I think where most people are going to struggle is the 61 oranges. If you took your Zombie Iron Man up to gear tier 15, maybe you have some in your inventory. Maybe you didn't take Zombie Iron Man up to 15. Maybe you level them at 12 or 13 or something like that. But anyways, the drop rates are pretty abysmal, and people are opening hundreds of orbs and getting a few. I know one of the raid orbs, I opened up over 100 and I got like 2. So, and that's just like this typical drop rate on the unique pieces, not high. Also, when is enough? Claim all and not giving a crap about the player base. And this personally affected me last week. The claim all bug just hit me, and I just did not hit the claim all button, and it just randomly claimed all of it. And I contacted customer support, and they said, sorry, this is a known issue. And they gave me like 2 gold orbs or something terrible. Nothing compared to the amount. After hoarding for weeks and just claiming everything when they hit one day for the expire, this morning I opened the game, and just after closing the calendar, a claim screen came with over 30 mails I had saved for less than 12 hours of the start of the raid points. That's right, because the raid event for earning raid credits is running right now. So I claimed all those mails today, and this looked like this went through before that. Contact support, they don't care. Not even the gold orbs that I've already heard other people say they got. That was me. Maybe they were just... This person didn't even get gold orbs, so maybe customer support won't even give you gold orbs. I don't know. When is enough? When they stop giving excuses and fixing issue, and the community and content creators bring this years, fixing anything or benefit in 15 minutes. Yes, it seems like they'll understand that giving zero cares on the customer needs has consequences. I hope so. T2 level 4 ions, the true apocalypse bottlenecks. That's correct. So basically, to unlock a baby apocalypse, you're going to need a whole bunch of characters, actually an unknown number of characters, all at gear tier 16 and blue ISO 4. That is going to be the four horsemen and the horseman teams, all of the teams, even Scarlet Witch and Phantom X. And then Spider Weaver is the only announced strike character that is also going to be required for the Apocalypse Saga, but they have not disclosed how many and what characters are going to be in addition to Spider Weaver. It's unknown. And so this is going to be the main bottleneck for most people. And so like myself, I've done, I get a lot of them because of the alliance and the rating and things like that. I have about 3 teams worth of it, and I'm only putting them on the horseman teams, right? And I have Gamma, not all of them, but I have like Gamma, Darkhold, and Unlimited done, and now I'm starting to work on Death Seed. But it's a problem's been said before, but I feel like it's really been slept on. I think a lot of players are going to be upset when they find themselves with not enough T2 level 4 ions. Personally, I still have to do 14 characters. My goodness, that's roughly 10 million ions. Yes, there are 7. I think the number is actually 715,000 to take from blue ISO 3 to blue ISO 4. 715,000 blue ISO 4. Even if Scopely opens up a bottleneck, I doubt many people meet the requirements, and I find the offers super expensive. I think you can get enough. I think you can get 750K sometimes. I have to go back and look at the math. I think it's about $100. It's not this bad, but it is super expensive. It seems to me it costs about $100 if you want to buy in the store to upgrade a single character. Outrageous. Let's move on. Selling ice cubes is unintentionally hilarious. Oh my God. Think about it. You can say however you want about Scopely, this game, or what direction it's headed, but the fact that they're selling ice cubes is one of the most hilarious things I have ever seen. It's either explicitly tone deaf or just an amazing troll. An ice cube has a very limited purpose, keeping something cold for a very limited amount of time. Then it melts and becomes water, which, while not nothing, doesn't do what you bought it for anymore. Then even that evaporates and leaves you with nothing. So I guess congratulations on distilling the business model to its very core so distinctly. Emma Frost. Okay, I've said this many times, and hopefully, I think back in the day we'd say Emma Frost is, future-proof, and we said Mr. Sinister is future-proof, and then Kestrel came out and kind of wiped out a lot of the effectiveness of Mr. Sinister, and hopefully Apocalypse doesn't wipe out the effectiveness of Emma. Emma Frost is the best overall character in the game. I agree with this. Since her release, Emma Frost has maintained some kind of position in the meta. I don't think any other character can say the same. Her speed manipulation, her buff clears, her survivability, her mind control attack, which scales as higher, as power levels of characters go up, that mind control attack scales, keep her all relevant. Even today, she's plug and play in multiple game modes, specifically useful in Arena and Crucible. Sure, the characters come out and outshine her for a bit of time or excel in particular area. However, none can maintain the tenure Emma Frost has. The burnout and are replaced when the next wave into Emma continues. And it mostly has to do with her speed manipulation. And this is a turn-based game, and turn meter and turn meter manipulation is going to be an alpha stat. I mean, to a lesser extent, even Cable and Loki have some use at times, and the kits, the rest of the character does very little. But Emma has been an amazing character for a long time. This is an interesting take, and I like this person's perspective on how they're going to approach the Scourge event. They're basically Scourge take, get 500k or bust. I know everyone was freaking out about the Scourge certain teams needed. Specifically, people keep asking me about minions, and I'm still recommending for people to wait. In my opinion, you're better off waiting until the event drops and seeing if you can unlock without dumping a lot of minions or mutants, especially how many characters have dropped and many being mutants. My personal strategy is to reach a 500k score without spending anything on the teams needed, then max out Angel and Death Seed. And then when I finally seed where I need the most help for the Scourge nodes and level up before the second run. What an amazing strategy. They're basically gonna find out what is optimal and then build it for the second run. This is an actual strategy right here. There's too much going on to dump resources for 2 fights before you've even tried, especially with the Last Horseman team waiting in the wings. Nothing worse than having a meta character and nothing to level them up with. So, I mean, back in the day, we used to say things like, I used to say, there's no shame in getting a legendary the second time around. This person's strategy right here, which I think is pretty smart, is that they're just going to unlock Archangel and then worry about the second run. Anyways, interesting strategy. Do whatever you want to do. Then, public service announcement. Heroes Hardwave 4-6 has gold orb fragments. Now, the villains Hard 4-6 actually has training orb fragments. So that is kind of a big deal. Now, let's get into the offer review. We've got an ice cube here, which is fine, bonus stuff. And then we've got 50 character shards for $5 for Captain America Sam Wilson. I think that's fine. And then we've got an very mediocre offer, but I suspect a lot of people will be buying this. It's a little bit pricey, but you do get a not terrible amount of training materials. I'm probably going to buy this myself just because I have an abundance of gold currently, and I am short training materials. And then again, the way that I view these cubes and the ice cube event is bonus stuff is bonus stuff. If this right here it creates value, and then whatever you get from the ice cubes is just an extra icing on the cake. I don't think this is a great idea. Literally, if you log into the web store, you get 5 shards per day. So this right here will save you 10 days time. Mr. Negative is the Wolverine of the web store. And so I don't see any reason to buy this. Then also, we've got a gold offer here, which is reasonable enough. Again, $10 for 2 million. Nothing spectacular, maybe like a C- offer. But if you need gold, there you go. And then you get the 2 ice cubes as well. Dazzler, I think this is a pretty good deal. Get the 1 ice cube and 3 red star orbs. And I try to open the red star orbs when they have 10x dark promotion credits. But anyways, that's pretty good right there. 50 Dazzler for $5. I also like the Gambit one as well. This is kind of a team that's kind of nuanced. Maybe it's used on War Offense for Heroes for Hire, and it was also used in one of the Scourges, although it was not the primary team that worked well in the Morgan Le Fay event. But anyways, that's bulk shards right there, and maybe that'll save you time. Both characters are currently farmable, but you got 50 Morbius, or 150 Morbius, 150 Dr. Voodoo for $15. And then lastly, we've got Vision, 50 character shards for $15. Pretty important character for the raids, the tech raids for the Bionic Avengers. So I don't think she's currently not farmable, and we're gonna do that. And then also we've got Deathlock right there for the same price. Now it's time for the giveaway. I really hope you liked today's video, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you will be getting for free an 8-star Dr. Taco Shooter. Wow. What does that say? Bitchy? Sonic Blast, Taco Bell Blast. Wow. It is a scam. No, it's not a scam. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. As always, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.